Good evening, dear students. Welcome to fifth lecture of the subject compiler design on the topic example of SLR parsing. If you remember, in the last lecture we have seen theoretical aspects of SLR parsing. We have seen exactly how does the SLR parsing works, what is the difference between LR0 and LR1 grammar, what is the difference between SLR, LALR and CLR parser. So today we will see an example of SLR parsing in detail with a problem. So consider the following grammar. There are three productions in the grammar: C tends to AB, A tends to A, B tends to A. The problem is to construct a SLR parsing table for above grammar. So we know that the step of first of SLR parsing is augment the given grammar. Now, what do you mean by augmentation of the given grammar? Augmentation means we are adding one production, that is C dash tends to dot C to the original grammar. So, original grammar had three production. Now, by adding this C dash tends to dot C, now the grammar becomes of four production. Now, why to add this production? Because during the bottom up parsing, we reduce, and when we reach to the start symbol of the grammar, we say that parsing is successful. So during reduction, we need to reduce the start symbol also to recognize that parser has reached to start symbol of the grammar. So to read the C, which is the start symbol of this grammar, we need to add one production. So when we are reduced, when the dot C is available on top of the stack, and when we reduce dot C by C dash, we conclude that parsing is successful and complete, and there we should stop the parsing. This is the reason why we have to augment the given grammar. So this is the augmentation. Once augmentation is over, we are going to give the number to a production, so that while writing in the table, we need not write the whole production. We can write only the number of the production by which we are reducing. So this production number is 1, this production number is 2, 3 and 4. Now second step after augmentation is computation of LR0 collection of items. So in LR0 collection of item, we need to use the two algorithms, that is closure and goto. So these algorithms we have already studied in the last lecture. To see it, right, this is the PPT slides of the last lecture. So if you see the algorithm for computation of closure and goto are these algorithms. See, this is the algorithm for computation of closure. C is equals to closure of S dash tends to dot S. So if this is the production whose closure we want to compute, then what we do, we add the productions of the non-terminal which is available after the dot. So for each set of items I tends to C, and for each grammar symbol X that belongs to terminal or non-terminal, after the dot we have to add the S productions. So this is the closure. Start with the closure of I. If there is a production A tends to alpha dot B beta, means after the dot non-terminal is there, then we have to add B productions also into the closure. So using this closure, as well as we will be needing the algorithm for computation of goto. So what is the algorithm for computation of goto? See here, this is the example we had discussed in the last lecture. For goto operation, for each item of this type, A tends to alpha dot X beta. Here X means any terminal or non-terminal grammar symbol. If this type of production is present in one of the states I0 to IN, then add the set of items closure of A tends to alpha X dot beta. Means what we are doing in goto operation, we are taking a transition from one state to other state on symbol X. So before taking the transition, the dot was before X, and once we take the transition, the dot gets shifted after X. That indicates we are taking a transition in the DFA. So we are going to use this goto and closure operation extensively in the computation of LR0 items. Okay. So these are the how we compute the LR0 collection of item. Now let's solve this problem and compute LR0 items for this given production. So initially the first state of DFA is I0. So I0 is equals to closure of first production of the grammar. What is the first production of the grammar? C dash tends to dot C. So when we compute the closure of C dash tends to dot C, after the dot what is there, what we have to see. If after the dot non-terminal is there, then we have to add its productions from the given grammar. So first production in the closure is C dash tends to dot C. After the dot non-terminal is there, so we are going to add C production. What are the C production here? C tends to dot AB. So add C tends to dot AB. Now check what is after the dot. Again after the dot non-terminal is there, that is capital A. So add A production. A tends to dot A. Now here after the dot terminal is there, so we are going to stop for computation of closure, because after the dot non-terminal is not there, there is a terminal. So this is the I0 state. Now the production of I0 states are C dash tends to dot C, C tends to dot AB and A tends to dot A. Now from I0 we are going to compute the states of DFA. States of DFA on the symbols available after the dot. So there are three symbols available after the dot, grammar symbols C, A and small a. Means from I0 we can have transition on C, other transition on A and third transition on small a. After we take the transition, the dot is getting shifted. This is how we get the next three states, I1, I2 and I3. So I1 is on C. So I1 is equals to go to I0 comma C, means from I0 we are taking transition on capital C. So when we take a transition, dot gets shifted. So C dash tends to C dot is a closure operation. Now after the dot nothing is there, so we cannot go ahead. We have to stop here itself, right? So this is how we have got I1. Now next is how to get the I2. For getting I2, the symbol is A, on which we are going to have a transition. So I2 is equals to go to I0 comma capital A and the dot gets shifted. So go to I0 comma capital A is equals to closure of C tends to A dot B. Now after the dot we are computing closure operation. So after the dot there is a non-terminal. So I have to take B production. What is B production? B tends to dot A. So add B tends to dot A. This is how we have got I2. Now I3 is on the third symbol. Thumb symbol after the dot is small a. So what we are going to take here? We are going to take a transition on small a in the DFA. So I3 is equals to go to I0 comma small a. So closure of A tends to dot A is A tends to A dot. Now after the dot nothing is there. So I cannot go further ahead for computation of more productions in the closure. This is how we have got I3 from I0. So now I0's three terminal non-terminal symbols after the dot are over. Now from I1, see that can I get any state? No, after the dot nothing is there, so I cannot go further in drawing the DFA. Now check that I2. In I2, yes, C tends to A dot B is the production. Means we can have a next transition on B by shifting the dot. So from I2, I can get a new state. So that is I4. I4 is equals to go to I2 comma B. That is closure of C tends to AB dot. Now after the dot nothing is there, so I cannot further compute the productions in closure. This is a over. Now from I2 we had got one production because after the dot there is B. Now second production is there, that where B tends to dot A. Now this dot A dot gets shifted after A and we get a new state, that is I5. So I5 is equals to go to I2 comma A. So closure of B tends to A dot. In previous step if you see, it was B tends to dot A. Now it has become B tends to A dot. Now all these productions which are having dot at the end, so I cannot get further states. So there are 5 states in the DFA which recognizes viable prefixes and handle on top of the stack. So let's solve this example by drawing a DFA. Same number of states are there, that we are just drawing in the form of a deterministic finite automata. This is the start state. So in the state I0 we are having 3 productions, same productions we are writing here. C dash tends to dot C, C tends to dot AB and A tends to dot A. So from I0 I am getting 3 states, I1, I2, I3 on C, A and small a. So on C I am getting I1, that is C dash tend to C dot. From on A, from I0 I am going to get go to I0 comma A. So state I2, what are the contents of I2? I2 is C tends to A dot B and B tends to dot A. Same thing I am writing here in the form of a DFA. C tends to A dot B, B tends to dot A, and then on this A I am getting the third state, go to I0 comma A. By shifting dot I am getting the production in I3 as A tends to A dot. This is a complete item. Now this is a complete item. After the dot nothing is there. Here also after the dot nothing is there. But from this state I can get further states. So in I2 I am having a production C tends to A dot B. So by shifting this dot I can get a new state, that is I4. So the content of I4 are C tends to AB dot after shifting the dot. Now after the dot nothing is there, so I cannot further extend I4. Now from I2 I can get one more state because this is a dot before A that I can shift after A, and I am going to get a new state, go to I2 comma A as B tends to A dot. So this is a DFA. Just what we have done, we have computed LR0 collection of items first sequentially from I0 to I5, and same thing I have drawn in the form of DFA for better understanding that how exactly the states are computed in SLR parsing and how does it recognizes the viable prefixes. So once DFA is drawn, next step is the construction of SLR parsing table. So if you remember the last lecture, we have got this algorithm for construction of SLR parsing table. So there are 8 steps in the algorithm. For your easy understanding, I have written the algorithm here. You need not write it in the exam for solving the problem. Once you solve a more number of problems, you will get used to all these rules, and then you need not write the algorithm. Okay. So first step of construction of SLR parsing table that we have seen with example, that is augmentation of the grammar. Second step is construction of LR0 item. So these 2 steps we have solved. This is how we have augmented the grammar, and this is how we have computed I0 to I5 states, that is nothing but the LR0 item. Now from LR0 item, we are going to decide what are going to be the shift actions in the action table of SLR parsing, what are going to be reduce action in the action table in SLR parsing, what are going to be the accept action in the action table of SLR parsing. And we know that the SLR parsing table is divided into 2 parts, that is action table, another is the go to table. Go to table will tell us that where does the transition from one state to other state goes on capital letters, that is the non-terminals. So go to table we will get using this step 6. So let's see these steps one by one. So first we will see how the fill up entries, how do we fill up entries in the SLR parsing table for shift actions. So what is the rule for shift action? We have to search a production of the form A tends to alpha dot A beta. So if there is a production A tends to alpha dot A beta, what is the meaning of this rule? After the dot A is there means after the dot there is a terminal symbol, right? So if after the dot there is a terminal symbol, this type of production in LR0 item will lead to shift action. So if there is this type of production in one of the steps of SLR LR0 collection of items, that is in IG, then we take transition in the DFA on go to II comma A, means one of the production is present in II, and if this type of production is there, by shifting the dot after A we can take a transition in the DFA with go function go to II comma small a is equals to ij. So this is the destination state where the transition is going on. Then we set the action I comma a as a shift G. So let's see how to fill up the shift actions in our example. So as per step 3 in the algorithm, first fill up all shift actions in the table. So in the state I0 there is a production A tends to dot A. See that in I0 is there any production where after the dot terminal is there? Is this a production where after the dot terminal is there? No. C is a non-terminal. Is this a production after the dot terminal is there? No. Here after the dot A is non-terminal. Yes, but this is the production A tends to dot small a, where after the dot terminal symbol is there. Means this is going to lead to shift action. So from I0 where the transition is going on A, the transition is going on I3, because here the production is A tends to small a dot. So that we are going to check, right? So in the state I0 there is a production A tends to dot A. Now match this with the rule A tends to alpha dot A beta that belongs to I0. If this is the production, then find out go to on small a. Where does it go? The go to function is taking transition on small a. In our example, this is taking transition on I3. So we have to find out go to on A, which is a state having production A tends to alpha A dot beta. So go to is going to a state where we are having a production of the kind where the dot is getting shifted after A. So in I3 the dot is getting shifted after A. So in the state I3 there is a production A tends to A dot. Therefore go to 0 is a state number because we are finding this production in I0. So 0 comma A is equals to I3. So action in the action table of the SLR parser will be action 0 comma A is equals to shift 3, that is S3. So fill up the entry 0 comma A. So if you see the SLR parsing table, the table is divided into two parts. One is action table, another is go to table. In action table the row indicates the terminal, while in go to table the column indicate non-terminals. Sorry, here in action table the column indicates terminal, in go to table the column indicate non-terminal, and here all these rows they indicate the states of the DFA. So in this example there are 5 states I0 to I5. So there will be 6 rows 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There will be 6 rows. So now as per this example the action is 0 comma A equals to S3. So fill up 0 row index A column index, fill up the entry S3. Similarly see that is there in the DFA, is there any state where after the dot terminal is there? In I1 we don't have any production where after the dot terminal is there. In I2 first production no, but second production yes, we are having after the dot terminal, means this is going to lead to a shift action. Where does the shift is going? On go to I2 comma A. Where the transition is going? Transition is going to I3. So B tends to A dot, where this dot is getting shifted after A. So this is going to lead to the shift action. So similarly in I2 there is a production B tends to dot A, and the transition is going to I5. There is a production B tends to A dot. So the action will be 2 comma A. In 2 it is the production and it is going to 5. So 2 comma A equals to S5. So fill up that 2 comma A equals to S5. So now check, are there any further production where after the dot terminal? In I3 no, in I4 no, in I5 no. No production is there where after the dot terminal symbol is there, means our shift entries are over. So we have filled up 2 shift entries. Now second is the reduction. What is the rule for reduction in the algorithm? So for reduction we have to find out a complete item. What do you mean by complete item? Complete item means in the production the dot is at the end of production. So A tends to alpha dot, means alpha is some production, the dot is at the end. So if there is this type of production in one of the states in the DFA I, then we have to set action I comma small a. Now here what is small a is equals to reduced by this production. So I comma a is that indicates that alpha is available on top of the stack. So we are reducing alpha. So we are popping out alpha into 2 symbol from the stack and pushing a onto the stack, right? That is as per the working of shift reduce parser. So action will be I comma a is equals to reduced by the production A tends to alpha. For all A, those are follow members of capital A. So what does the follow indicate? Follow indicate what is the next symbol after A. So there is a prediction that whatever symbol is there in the follow of A will be available in the input buffer in the shift reduce parser. That is the prediction, provided this A should not be the start symbol of the grammar, because if it is a start symbol of the grammar, action will be accept, the parsing will be over and not the reduction. So we will have to find out in the DFA that is there any complete item in the states I0 to IN, provided it should not be the start symbol. So here no complete item is there. Here yes, state I1 C dash tends to C dot, this is a complete item. but this is reducing to the start symbol of the grammar. So we will not have a reduce action here, we will have accept action here. So let's go to the next. C tends to A dot B, it's not complete item. This is also not complete item. In I3, yes, we have a complete item. A tends to A dot. So this will lead to reduce action. So for reduce action, as per the algorithm step 4 for reduction, we have to find out production of the type A tends to alpha dot in any of the states. Then compute follow of A, because we are predicting that follow of A terminals will be available in the input buffer during the parsing. So then compute follow of A and enter reduce action for all follow members of A, that whenever these follow members of A are present in the input, we should reduce the alpha by A, which is available on top of the stack, provided A should not be the start symbol of grammar. So see in I0 to IN, where we have a complete item. See, so in I0 there is no complete item. In I1 this will lead to accept. Now after I3 there is I4, yes. In I4 C tends to AB dot is a production, which is a complete item. The dot is at the end of production. So this will lead to the reduce action. So in I3 we have a production A tends to small a dot. This is present in I3. So as per the rule, first we have to compute follow of A. Follow of A, to know that what is the next symbol will be available in the input buffer during reduction in the parsing. So for to compute follow of A, we have to consider the production C tends to AB dot, because here A is followed by something, and from that we can get the follow member. So follow of A is equals to first of B, because B is a non-terminal as per the rule of follow. So first of B is small a as per the production in the grammar, because see B tends to A is there. So follow of A is first of B is small a, right? So follow of A is first of B, that is small a. So what is the action here? Action will be 3. 3 is the state 3, I3, in which we are having this production. 3 comma follow member of A. What is the follow member of A? Is small a. So 3 comma A is equals to reduce by this production. So now in writing the whole production in the parsing table will not be convenient. So what we adopt a method by writing the number of production. So what is the number of production? Here we are given the numbering. This is the first production, this is second, this is third, and this is fourth. Now A tends to dot A. What is the production number of this production? That is 3. So we will be writing R3. Instead of writing reduce by A tends to A dot, we will be writing reduce by third production, that is R3. So fill up this entry in the parsing table, that is 3 comma A equals to R3. Now see that after I3, where we have complete item. So I3 is over. Now in I4, see that C tends to AB dot. This is also a complete item, which will lead to reduce action in the parsing table. So similarly in state I4, we have a production C tends to AB dot. So the first step for reduce action is compute the follow of C. What is the follow of C? The follow of C is dollar, because C is the start symbol of the grammar. So fill up the action 4 comma dollar. 4 is the state number, dollar is the follow member. So 4 comma dollar is equals to this production, reduced by this production. What is the number of this production? C tends to AB dot. The number of C tends to AB dot is R2. So write the action in the table as 4 comma dollar is equals to R2. Now see that after I4, is there any production which is a complete item? Yes, in state I5 we have a complete item, B tends to A dot, right? This will lead to reduce action. So in state I5 we have production B tends to A dot. So first compute follow of B. Follow of B, now for that consider the production C tends to AB. Now as per the rule of follow, follow of B is equals to follow of C. Follow of C we have already computed, that is dollar, because C is a start symbol of grammar. So follow of B equals to follow of C equals to dollar. So fill up the action in the action table as 5, because state 5 we are having this production. 5 comma dollar is equals to R4, because this B tends to A dot is having the number R4. So fill up here state 5 comma dollar is equals to R4. This is how we fill up the reduce entry. Now once the reduce entries are over, the next step in the algorithm is find out the accept entry. For accepting, we should be reducing by the start symbol of the grammar. So we have to find out the production S dash tends to S dot in any any state. So if this is there, then action will be this I comma dollar, because dollar is a follow of S, that is equals to accept. The meaning is that when we reduce S dash by S dot, means we have reached to the start symbol of the grammar, and when we reach to the start symbol of the grammar, that indicates parsing is successful and complete. So see that in I0 to I5, where do we get reduction by start symbol of the grammar? So in I1, we are getting reduction of start symbol of the grammar, C dash tends to C dot. This will lead to a accept action. So as per step 6, step 5 in the algorithm, there is a production C dash tends to C dot in state II. So action will be 1, because this is found in state 1, 1 comma dollar is equals to accept. So fill up 1 comma dollar is equals to accept. Now last step of the algorithm is fill up the go to entries in the go to table. Now what is the rule here for filling up the go to entries? We have to find out the transition in DFA on non-terminal. So if we find go to II comma A is any non-terminal and it is going to the state IJ, then we have to set in the go to table I comma A equals to J. So find out in DFA where do we are having transitions on non-terminal. So in I0 there is a C and A where we are having transition on non-terminal. So here go to will be I0 comma C. Where is it going to? I1. So fill up the entry in the go to table as go to I0 comma C will be going to I1. So action will be go to 0 comma C equals to 1. So action 0 means from I0 there is a transition on C to I1, that is the meaning. Similarly, see the next state, right? In I0 we are having one more transition on non-terminal, that is capital A. So from I0 on A, the transition is going to I2. So go to entry will be 0 comma A equals to 2, because there is a transition from I0 on A to I2. So the action will be go to 0 comma A equals to 2. So fill up that 0 comma A equals to 2. Now I0 is over because there is no more production where after the dot non-terminal is there. So check in I1, no, there is no non-terminal after the dot. Check in I2, yes, after the dot there is a B. So where is the transition is going? From I go to I2 comma B is going to I4. So this will lead to a go to entry. So go to I2 comma B is going to I4. So the action will be go to 2 comma B equals to 4. So go to 2 comma B equals to 4. See that after I4, do I have a production where after the dot non-terminal is there? No, this is a complete item. So we have to stop because all the states are over and go to entries we have filled up. So this is finally our SLR parsing table. So action table we have filled with shift and reduce action and accept, and go to table we have filled with the transition in the DFA after the non-terminal. This is how we fill up the entry in the SLR parsing table. So this type of problem will be asked in the exam and you have to construct the SLR parsing table. Now which grammar is called as SLR grammar? Where we get single entry in the parsing table, that grammar is called as SLR grammar. If I am getting multiple entries at one location, we call it that grammar is not SLR. So by constructing the parsing table and by finding out one entry at one location in the SLR parsing table, we can prove that the grammar, given grammar is SLR grammar, because we could successfully construct the parsing table without multiple entries. So we will stop for today. In the next lecture, we will see what are the drawback or limitation of SLR parser. With an example, we will see that for which type of grammar the SLR parsing will fail, and that is how we have to go for next class of parser, that is LR1 parser. Thank you.